Lonzo Ball, the former second overall pick of the 2017 draft, at only 25 years old, may have already played his final game in the NBA. All this coming after an injury to his left knee during January of 2022. Since that point, he has already received 2 surgeries, and with the latest news, he will be needing a 3rd surgery, after already missing the entirety of this past year, as well as 47 games last year, and the news that he may miss most of, if not the entirety of next season. There's a whole lot that's went wrong with Lonzo Ball's career so far. So in this video, I want to cover what this injury means for Lonzo Ball, the timeline of his potential return, and if Lonzo will ever play another game in the NBA again. So let's go ahead and get right into things. The first thing I want to cover here is just like a little bit of a reminder of what Lonzo Ball brought, because it's been so long, since January of last year, since we've seen him play. So I think it's good that we kind of set a little bit of a reminder of how good Lonzo Ball was when he was playing. So, of course, as we all know, Lonzo Ball was originally drafted by the Lakers and had a little bit of a rocky start to his career, and certainly didn't look as great as a lot of people were hoping to see in, the number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft. After moving on from the Lakers, he goes to the Pelicans and showed a lot of promise, and then he was brought to the Chicago Bulls, in which he is currently playing and where the injury occurred. So if we take a look at some of his stats over these past couple years, Ball had averaged 10 plus points in 3 straight seasons, while being the 3rd and or 4th option. Those are some pretty good numbers for a guy that isn't taking all the shots on your team. Along with this, he showed that he is one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league, and that's no gripe. Him alongside guys like, Drew Holiday, even Alex Caruso, some top-level defenders around the perimeter, and Lonzo Ball was up in that competition through and through. He also had some incredible shooting percentages and was one of the best three-point shooters in the league when he was taking them. All that, along with the fact that he had some brilliant playmaking and averaged, with the Bulls last season, 12, 6, 6, 2.7 steals / blocks per game. I combine those 2 stats, and 42% shooting from not only the field but also the 3-point line. Lonzo Ball had so much going for him and had begun to perform at a high level, and some people thought he had the potential to be an all-star. But since injuring his left meniscus in January 2022, a lot of things have slowly went downhill for Lonzo Ball. Let's go ahead and talk about this injury. Of course, happening in January, it was a meniscus injury that would require surgery number 1. He also was dealing with a bone bruise that happened around the same time and only added to that fact. Partway through the offseason, actually I think towards the beginning of this year, he needed a 2nd surgery, and now he's requiring a 3rd surgery to the same knee to move some cartilage into that knee to add some more structural support to Lonzo Ball. Now this hopefully can make things easier for Lonzo Ball. If you haven't been in the loop, there's been some videos that have come out over the past couple months on what's been happening with Lonzo Ball, and it surely hasn't looked good. There was a video of him kind of shooting around, layups, stuff like that, some simple stuff, but he certainly wasn't looking comfortable. It looked like his knee didn't have a lot of support. And there was another video that came out of Lonzo Ball running on a treadmill, and I think that was the worst of them all. He wasn't even going at full speed, and yet he looked uncomfortable. There was discomfort, and it didn't really look like his knee was staying in one spot. It almost looked like each time he ran, it was kind of moving out and in, just side to side, which certainly isn't a good sign at all. Now, needing that 3rd surgery, the fact that he may miss the entirety of next season, we're talking 2.5 seasons out due to this injury that at the time seemed like it wouldn't be a big-time injury. He was expected to return at the beginning of this season, which would have meant he only missed around 47 games, which surely is a lot. But now you're looking at 2 82-game seasons, along with that 47. That is a huge, huge stretch of games for Lonzo Ball to have missed in such a young career. Now, with all that, the kind of next question that comes around is, what could be the timeline? And we kind of already answered that. And then, what does this mean for Lonzo's career, and will he ever play again? So let's cover the timeline pretty quick. As mentioned, he could miss the majority or the entirety of next season, which means that he'd be returning likely in 2024. And that, in that timeline, 2024. And I mean not like 2023-24 season, I mean in 2024. So like January, which is 2 years from when the injury occurred. That's going to put him in a spot come January, come 2024, where he's missed a huge chunk of games. He's going to be very, very rusty and potentially could take him a whole nother year to get back to his playing ability. But there is the fact that he could miss the entirety next year, which would put him all the way to the back end of 2024 for his first appearance. Near September, October, 2.5 years since his injury occurred, that he could finally be returning. And once again, you still got to deal with getting back into shape, back into working ability, and be comfortable and be sure that you're safe using that leg. I mean, we've seen this with guys like Derrick Rose, who, of course, Chicago legend, kind of a similar injury, a meniscus injury, an ACL injury. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but a knee injury. And as the years progressed, not only did he get re-injured, but he never looked comfortable using it. We didn't see him do these explosive plays that we had seen a lot, and that could happen with Lonzo Ball. He might never be that high-level defender, and I mean, he had a great, physical ability as well, fast, able to jump, and all of this stuff. We might never see his full capabilities because of this injury. Now, with all that being said, I kind of want to take a look at, will Lonzo Ball ever play? And another question with that, of course, as a Bulls fan, will he ever play in a Bulls uniform? So the first thing I'm going to cover is the Bulls uniform, because we don't have full control over the second part. Lonzo Ball's contract is going to hold him through the 2024 season. If we can pull up the contract right here for you guys, as you can see behind me, we have the 2022 season, 23 season, right where my highlighter is, and I know it's really hard for you to see. It's very, very small for you guys here, but obviously under contract this year. He's also going to be under contract next season, the 2023-24 season, base salary of $20 million, which is a lot. And I don't think there's like a LTIR for basketball. I might be missing on that. That's a hockey term. Long-term IR means that their salary comes off the book. I don't know if that's a thing in the NBA. Probably should look into that. Now, after that, if Lonzo doesn't play the entirety of next year, that would mean that 2023-24 season, he wouldn't play at all. That's going to move you to the 2024-25 season, in which Lonzo Ball has a player option. Now, if he hasn't retired at this point already, he's probably going to take that player option for $21 million. That is a lot of money. $21 million. Lonzo Ball, just to take a player option for that one more year. It doesn't matter. At that point, it's just his choice, whether he's at full speed, full play, whatever it is. It's up to him to take $21 million, which I expect for him to do, especially with all these implications that have occurred along the way. That's if he doesn't retire before that point. And if further implications occur, I mean, he was expected to return at the beginning of this year. This season that we're in currently, he was expected to return then. If further implications occur, not only is it a high chance that he'll likely retire before that point, if he's having discomfort walking upstairs, if he can barely run, if all these things are occurring and more implications occur, I could see him retiring, which sucks. I was a huge fan of Lonzo Ball. But with all that being said, if further implications occur, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a fourth surgery, or if he missed the better half of even that 2024-25 season. I know we're way far out there at this point, but you got to plan for what we've seen so far. He's had multiple surgeries go past what was expected. Now you're looking, if he misses the better portion of even that 2024 season or misses it entirely, now he's an unrestricted free agent and potentially never suits up as a Bull again. And at that point, maybe never suits up in the NBA again. All this at 25 years old, the number 2 overall pick in the 2017 draft. Some great numbers, a guy that many thought could become an all-star and had some of the highest expectations alongside his brother coming out of high school and college. To be dealing with all these injuries certainly sucks. not only for him, his family, but also us fans that want to see him play and saw the potential that he had. For all of that to kind of go out the door, it sucks. So my question for you guys, and I should ask this at the top as well, I want you guys to have a conversation with me down below. Do you think Lonzo Ball will ever play a game of basketball ever again? And if you do you think he'll be able to reach the potential that he already showed and or exceed that? Do you think he'll ever be able to reach that all-star status? Comment all of that down below. This is a brutal subject, especially for a Chicago Bulls fan, because I want to see him play. He showed a lot to this team and brought a lot to this team, but now we'll never really know what his full potential may look like, at least not for another year. So if you enjoy this content, please like, and if you want more Bulls content from the playoffs as they approach and or free agency and the lottery that are going to be occurring through these next couple months here, and you want to see more Bulls content, please subscribe. It truly means the world to you, and I have a whole lot planned for you guys already. But as always, I hope you taught something today. Hope it made you smile. Hope you saw something really important to me. Affects someone's day in a great way, because every single day can be a great day if we all just put in the effort. And as always, you guys all be safe out there.